Beloved within the Seventh-day Adventist Church, beloved within the Seventh-day Adventist Church, this is a very urgent message, a very urgent message called The Sons of All Through the Back Burner. The Sons of All Through the Back Burner. The fall of the five foolish virgins. The fall of the five foolish virgins and the sleeping of the five wise virgins. Now here recently, June 21st just passed on yesterday. We're now in June 22nd. Spring is officially over in this country on the Gregorian calendar. Now we're into the summer of 2019. No official Sunday law has been passed, and the pastors are not asking me, even the present truth pastors, like Dr. Isaac Olatunji, when is Arthur Branner and David Gates going to apologize for what they put up? There's no Sunday law. It hasn't happened yet as of this spring. When are they going to apologize? Let me tell you something, beloved. They don't need to apologize. They don't need to apologize because the Climate Action Now law, which is already in Congress right now, that passed the House and it's now going through the Senate, is already in Congress right now. The 14th Amendment will be repealed by this Congress, and the states will be given back states' rights and regional sections to pass regional laws so they can approve along local states' rights issues in cities, like New York with Governor Cuomo recently, the Paris Climate Change Agreement that Pope Francis is backing and endorsing, the Paris Climate Change Agreement, which is the Sunday law through the back burner, which is the law for the environment, beloved. So the Sunday law is here. Don't let anybody deceive you and make you feel that the Sunday law is not here because there's no restricting of buying and selling and there's no death decree. Beloved, that's a later on application of law. The Sunday law comes in stages, beloved. The Sunday law is here through the back burner. It's here through climate laws, through laws for the environment, through the Paris Climate Agreement, through Climate Action Now, Law HR 9 in Congress. That's how it's here. And beloved, pretty soon we're not going to be able to buy and sell. Pretty soon they're going to be hunting us down and put us to death. Pretty soon there's going to be fines and imprisonment, beloved. Stay right with God. Do not eat meat. Do not eat dairy. Do not dance in church. Do not dance outside of church. Do not watch worldly movies. Do not listen to worldly music. Do not go to worldly places and involve yourself in worldly amusement and pleasure. Stay on your knees. Read the Bible. There's a man of God that came from Judah. He rebuked the apostasy of Jeroboam for making two golden calves, one in Dan and one in Beersheba. Dan is where the tribe of Samson was. Beersheba was the south country near Judah, beloved, in the Adventist church. And he made these two golden calves, and he worshipped these two golden shrines. And the prophet from Judah said, O altar, men's bones shall be sacrificed unto thee. So he was rebuking the altar, not even the king's worship, but the altar, saying that his son worship was wrong, his Baal worship was wrong. And the king laid out and said, lay hold on this man of God, this prophet, to his soldiers. And his hand dried up. That almost be like the conference president telling me, the prophet from Judah, to lay hold on me by the cops at Oakwood if I go against women's ordination and Sunday surge and spiritual information and new theology and ecumenicalism at Oakwood, and the king or Ahab Benjamin Jones hand drying up, beloved, in the Adventist church, or the North American division President Dan Jackson's hand drying up. And so the king, in this case Benjamin Jones or Dan Jackson, would ask me to pray for his hand and say, pray for me, young man, my hand is dried up. And I pray for his hand get healed. And then he say, come home with me and I will give thee a reward. Come home with me and I'll make you a priest of the high places. I'll make you a pastor. I'll hook you up. I'll give you a conference trek. I'll ordain you. If you come and accept women's ordination, Sunday church, ecumenicalism, new theology, and spiritual information. And I say to him, if you give me half of your house, I will not come home with you or eat bread or drink water in this place. Beloved, in the Adventist church, that's what it would be like for me to say back to him. And I go another way. And then it's almost like the fact that the old prophet hears this thing from his sons. And in this case, it will be an older man of God that graduated from the same school I graduated from, Oakland University, that has sons, and hears from his sons that I rebuke the apostasy of the king. And he come to me and say, For an angel came to me and told me to tell you to come home with me and drink bread with me, drink water with me, and I'll give you half of my house. And I come home and I eat bread and I drink water with that lying old prophet. And he said, for as much as you have disobeyed the voice of the Lord, thy carcass shall not go back into the sepulchre of thy fathers. And then a lion tear me up by the way. Now, beloved in the Adventist church, if you listen to these apostate 7 Adventist ministers that tell you that probation has not closed on the Adventist leadership for all their apostasy since March 10th, if you listen to all these new theologians and even present truth ministers like Dr. Isaac Otuju say that probation has not closed March 10th and that April 24th and April 10th was not the closing probation for the laity or lay members. If you listen to these people, beloved, you're going to be lost. We need to listen to the Bible and the spirit prophecy and go on forward to follow God with all the heart, soul, mind, and strength, beloved in the Adventist church. Probation has closed since March 10th for 7 Adventist leadership. Probation has closed for laity and lay members since April 24th. And just because no sons law has been enforced does not mean that the 14th Amendment will not be repealed and the local cities and states will not endorse climate action now by a local level, even though the Congress may not accept it through the president because the president may not sign off on it because he's against the agenda of the Pope with the Paris Climate Agreement. And so it can still be enforced and they can still pass the Sons of Law on a regional or state level. Doesn't Sister White herself say that the Sons of Law is going to be passed on a regional or state level first, down south in particular first? Beloved, pray, ask for discernment, ask for guidance. Talk to Jesus Christ. He's your personal friend. Do not listen to the opinions of man. Listen to God. And in the last days, we must do the work of God in a smart way because in these last days, YouTube is going to be taken off. YouTube is going to be censored. I'm going to be censored saying these things. Facebook is going to be censored. I'm going to be censored saying these things. Probably take off my page on Facebook and YouTube, beloved. We must do things in a wise, smart way like David House was saying in his sermon. He may not believe in this message, but he believes in a lot of good points, beloved, in the Adventist church. And you know what can happen these last days? Sister White says in evangelism that none know how soon when there will not be no any work done in ministerial lines, but in the medical mission work because our churches will be closed down due to the Sons of Law. Be ready, beloved. Stay faithful. Get into the Bible and this prophecy. Study for yourselves. Most Congress, Heavenly Father, thank you for this day. Thank you for all of mercy and blessings. Thank you for listeners on Facebook, YouTube, on this page. Save in your kingdom. Let them read the Bible and the prophecy for themselves. Let them see the probation has closed on the leadership and on the members and laity, and they must be doing aggressive mission work to the apostate Protestant right now. So before probation closes upon them, in Jesus Christ's name I pray. Amen.